today, peacemakers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. True peace to all the peacemakers across the world. This is World Temple, Branch Temple number 24 of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Greetings, greetings, greetings. We just opening up. About to share the room, y'all, and we're going to get straight to these prayers for this day's Friday. Just give me a second. Let me go ahead and pull up this divine supplication for us. And share the room if you're in here listening to me while I open us up, so we can get it started. We're going to have us a beautiful, holy day today. Kind of chime in and go in on some things as we do every week. And get some feedback from the people. Talk about a couple current events. Y'all know how we do. True peace, true peace, true peace, true peace. Islam, Islam, Islam. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Hotep, Hotep, Hotep. Rabat. Amateo. All the great greetings across the world. From all the four corners of the earth. So let me share this room one more time, y'all. And I'm going to open this up with the divine supplication, so we can get straight to it. Give me 1 second. Just be patient with me. Peace, Brother Damien. I see you down there. Go ahead and communicate with me in the chat if you want to stay down there in the goo, or what they refer to here on Clubhouse as the goo. But if you want to come on top and speak and communicate and interact, just follow that gray block of words. Click that gray block of words up there at the top, and click the join button, follow us, and then I'll go ahead and bring you up on stage with me. But other than that, I'm about to share this room real quick to all the main social medias, and then we about to get started with our divine supplication and opening. All right, give me a second. Peace, peace, brother. Greetings, greetings, greetings.
Peace, brother, peace.
Salam. Nice to have you with us. Thanks for joining us, brother. I'm going to go and open us up with our divine supplication as we do every week, and we're going to get it started with these weekly readings. And this week's lecture and sermon. So first, we begin all things in prayers by using the all divine love. O Heavenly One, the Most High, who is sustainer of all the worlds, we do accept the duty you have lain on us to clean up the filth made by the West and its non-submitting fools. O my sustainer, we beseech you to keep your hand over us to control the strings of the courses of our lives. Our sustainer, and if we do wrong, please show thy divine blessings and forgiveness on us. You are the only one that can raise us true followers of the news bearers, and in thy name, we carry on. All right. So I'm going to move over to these 19 affirmations, y'all. What we accept is fact. Our daily affirmation of loyalty of the children of the Elohim. So while we do this opening, check the room one more time, okay? And let me go ahead and send this link out to them right quick on Telegram, to the family that's on Telegram and in our private chats, real quick, before I go into these 19 affirmations. All right. Give me 1 second. I'll paste it there real quick. Yeah, give me a second so I can put the people on notice. They can join us today. So they can join us. Peace, brother. You was trying to say something? Go ahead. How's everything on your end? All's
All's
well?
well, bro. I'm just dealing with the fam, so I'm listening at the same time.
Got you. Let me go ahead and do this last shift. And let's get it in. I done sent it to the wrong person. Hey, I just sent it to the wrong person. All right. Let me send this in real quick. And then we about to jump straight to these 19 affirmations. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. I got one more to go. Yeah, tonight we're gonna kind of go in where we left off at, and continue from there. And touch on the things we've been talking about. So let me see. Facebook Messenger doing what it want to do today. I don't know what this is about. I guess I'll come back to that. Let's do these 19 affirmations real quick. Let Facebook figure out what it want to do. All right, so we accept this fact the eternal laws of nature as revealed through science, past events, logic, and common sense, revealed as right knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We accept this fact the highest laws of nature is the cooperation and harmony of all living things. We accept this fact our way of life as a means to the best end. We accept this fact that loyalty is the greatest of all honors and treason is the worst of all crimes. We accept this fact that what is good for the Holy Tabernacle is the highest virtue, and what is bad for the Holy Tabernacle is the ultimate evil. We accept this fact that the Holy Tabernacle is the finest and noblest organization for all humanity, created by circumstances, and the ancient and mystic order of Melchizedek is the noblest of fraternities on and above this planet. We accept this fact that creativity, love, and cooperation are the essence of success. We accept this fact that truth and facts are always and has always been the originator and creator of all success. We accept this fact that all worthwhile cultures and civilizations came about from the ancient Sumerians and Camite Egyptians and the Anunnakis or Elohims from the heavens, without which there would be none. We accept this fact that for the Holy Tabernacle to survive, expand, and advance, we need first of all a revolution of values and thoughts, which must start within each person by being truthful with themselves and about themselves. Therefore, we completely and categorically reject all myths, fictions, religions, and lies that have not been proven. That would include your heavens, your hells, your hellfire and brimstones, your horn and pitchfork devils, your winged angels, and your old man God character sitting on a throne up there somewhere. We deal strictly with facts. If you can't prove it, we don't want to hear it. That doesn't mean we won't listen to you. Just don't expect us to accept your beliefs by virtue of a title such as Reverend, Pastor, Deacon, Imam, Sheik, Rabbi, Minister, Theologian, etc. That is your sensationalism, and we deal with just the facts. We accept this fact that the only true revolution is a war of good against evil, right against wrong, fairness against unfairness, loyalty against disloyalty, sincerity against insincerity, honesty against dishonesty, and this war is fought within each person among the agreeable and disagreeable Elohims that make up your willpower. We accept this fact that the unity of our community and its success will only happen with cooperation with all involved. We accept this fact the total unification of all humanity on the basis of truth, that is, accepting people and races for who and what they are, respecting their culture, their languages, and their beliefs, and expect the same. We accept this fact that the human race, its biological and cultural heritage is now under attack by our own morals, our self-righteousness, our desire to control industry, and these things attack the very existence of humanity. We accept this fact that males as well as females are equal in all things and should be dealt with as partners in all matters. We accept this fact that no one race of people is better than the other. In fact, no one wins the race and racism. We accept this fact that communication between different people is the cure to the ignorance that breeds the disease hate. We accept this fact that a good and well-rounded education could prevent most of the ignorance that plagues the world. We accept this fact that the all is just that, the all. You can't take from the all, you can't add to the all. We are all within the all is one. That is our concept of what you call a deity. To the fulfillment of these facts, we children of the Elohim forever pledge our lives, our sacred honor, and our spiritual zeal. All right, so I don't know what that's doing. Let me get up out of this. I don't know what that is about. True peace, true peace, true peace. Let me go ahead and get these links set out for the last time. Let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. All right, so let's go into the prayer and divine constitution. Before that, I want to give honors to the prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Honorable Marcus Garvey, the forerunner of the prophet, as well as all the other great speakers and leaders that came about, such as C.M. Bay, H.I.M Bay, and other great leaders of the Moorish Science Temple Divine and National Movement. And with that, let's go into it, y'all. Let's get into this prayer. Y'all can say the prayer with me, do the prayer with me. Y'all know how it go. 5 fingers up, 2 fingers up, facing the east. Feet at a 45-degree angle. Let's get into it. So we can have us a happy holy day. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Amen. All right, y'all, so we're going to open up with the divine constitution and bylaws. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is branch temple number 24 of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We are a global branch of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Come link yourself with the family of nations by clicking that gray box of words, and join us. I'm gonna put up the link to the civics course here in a second, so that way y'all could check out the civics 101 course and really build up your acumen, really build up your understanding of how the temple actually is supposed to work and the structure of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And we're gonna go over some things, like I said today, especially about this whole situation with us as a people, and why it's more important now that we really understand our nationality in a situation. Top of the room. All right. So y'all can join us, and we're gonna go over the civics course, the free civics 101 course that we offer here in the temple as we continue on today. So with that, let's get into this divine cause. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7, and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God of love. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Could you hear me?
True peace. Nah,
Yeah.
I just heard you now.
Okay. That mean they blocked me out. So let me go ahead and mod this up real quick. True peace. Yeah. So I was trying to read chapter 25. I guess
hmm
it, I guess it didn't get it on the reading. It must have
Okay,
closed up on them. So I'm gonna go back and we're gonna kick that back off. Restart with chapter 25, and then
gotcha.
jump into 47 and 48. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this app.
Yeah.
It ain't doing like it used to. It used to be where I had to have two people in here just to talk.
hmm
But now it's been letting me, with you know, pretty much go without anybody being in the room. That's
hmm
what So we're gonna reread the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation, chapter 25 again, because I guess it didn't pick it up. So
hmm
it reads, "Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother had given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. And if thy brother is in adversity, assist him. And if thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other." Yeah, I was saying, but before it cut me out, that we really got to take a look at this one this week, because there's some things that's going on in the in the media.
Right.
That brother Kanye is waking up for us. He really waking some things up about the status, heritage. Uh, he really getting that conversation going. I'm
Yeah.
saying, we're gonna touch on that today
Okay.
as we go through this weekly reading and do this sermon tonight. But all's well on your end, over.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Islam.
Nah, happy holiday.
Happy holiday to you, Mom.
Yeah. Right. So, chapter 47, y'all, called Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. It says, "The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham and his family was second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexem, the first true and divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between the father and the son. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest, was his father's dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa, they were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sovereign from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extended north from northeast and southwest Africa across Great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake which caused the Great Atlantic Ocean. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms. Also, the Niger River was dredged by the great pharaoh of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extends eastward from the river Nile westward across the great Atlantic. It was used for trade and transportation. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. What your ancient forefathers were, you are today without doubt or contradiction. There is no one who is able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator Allah himself. These holy and divine laws are from the prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America. These laws are to be strictly preserved by the members of all the temples of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that they will learn to open their meeting and guide it according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and to create their own laws and customs in conjunction with the laws of the Holy Prophet and the Grand Temple. I, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, was sent by the great God Allah to warn all Asiatics of America to repent from their sinful ways before that great and awful day that is sure to come. The time has come when every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess his own. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honor not the creed and principles of their forefathers. That is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774, and the word Negro, black in color, was given to the Asiatics of America, who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and father, and strayed after the gods of Europe, of whom they knew nothing. True peace, Islam. Yeah, chapter 47 really wakes it up. Like I say every week, repetition is very, very powerful because it's something that you get every time you reread it, every time you go over it again. Some very powerful things, especially with, like I said, what's happening today in the media and what's coming out, by influencers, uh, by these influencers across the world. Somebody beeping hard. By these influencers across the world. And so, we want to always refer back to the power that's within the Holy Quran Circle 7, especially these particular chapters that we're guided to read weekly and understand, the power behind this divine and national movement, and the information that's given directly in there, other than the instructions that we'll kind of skim through as we do every week. But with that, let's go to chapter 48, called the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies. And I'm not sure because I ain't looking at the screen yet. Let me check. Yeah, if you see anybody come through, Chief, just make sure that they click those gray blocks of words that's up there that say World Temple, join us. And that way, we can make sure that we bringing up official members.
All right,
Yeah, we don't just want any and everybody up here on stage.
yes, sir.
You already know. All right, so let's go ahead and go into it. Chapter 48, the end of times and the fulfilling of the prophecies, read: The last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem man from their sinful ways, and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. John the Baptist was the forerunner of Jesus in those days to warn, and stir up the nation, and prepare them to receive the divine creed which was to be taught by Jesus. In these modern days, there came a forerunner of Jesus who was divinely prepared by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did teach and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet, who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam. And his name is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared and sent to this earth by Allah to teach the old-time religion and the everlasting gospels to the sons of men, that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and return to their own and be one with their Father God Allah. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the Prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States, etc., that the world may hear and know the truth, that among the descendants of Africa there is still much wisdom to be learned in these days for the redemption of the sons of man under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We, as a clean and pure nation descendant from the inhabitants of Africa, do not desire to amalgamate or marry into the families of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, neither serve the gods of their religion, because our forefathers are the true and divine founders of the first religious creed for the redemption and salvation of mankind on earth. Therefore, we are returning the church and Christianity back to the European nations as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation, while we, the Moorish Americans, are returning to Islam, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation. The covenant of the great God Allah: honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be longer upon the earth land, which the Lord thy God Allah had given thee. Come all ye Asiatics of America and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights, because you are not Negroes. Learn of your ancient forefathers' ancient and divine creed, that you will learn to love instead of hate. We are trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come and link yourself with the family of nations. We honor all true and divine prophets. Islam. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So we had a couple people come through. I think brother Damon said he's gonna come back through. But nonetheless, we're gonna get it started with tonight's lecture seminar, and go into some things like I say, a little bit of current events. But we want to understand these instructions that's given to us by the prophet, man. A lot of people, in these different whatever they want to call themselves, groups, organizations, etc. Um, you know, as I've been saying, you can call it what you want, but it's a little miseducation or it could be misguidance, whatever form it comes in. We're missing that we were given, a solid foundation, from our ancestors. And even though that's just 100 years ago, that's not very long. But at the same time, it's still a century that has passed, and works that have been duly prepared for us to be duly prepared in this day and time, and have directive, have some instructions on where to go with what we have to do as a nation of people. We have 15,000 nations probably being created today, just in this one segment of things. And this is this is getting crazy because you have all these different nations, empires, and things like that, but we keep missing the fact that we are a global body a global body politic. And the prophet came and set that precedence for us, and it's also codified into statutes. I don't like saying codified, but it's also incorporated into statutes. So we can say incorporated. That's better way to put it, right? So, this is why I say what I've been saying the past couple of weeks about, come link yourself with the family of nations through the Moorish Science Temple of America, because we seem not to pay attention to that literature. We got a lot of people that rather copy Noble Drew Ali, take from Noble Drew Ali, the ancestor, the holy prophet, instead of come and link themselves. And they'll say they're not Moors, like we talked about last week. And I had to remind us, that like I said last week, I had to remind that sister, what do you see when you look in the mirror? Are you seeing pale skin, or the skin, or the look of someone from another nation? Is that what you're looking at? Or you're looking at a melanated being reflected in the mirror, a native, or indigenous, or whatever you want to call it? And we left off with reading the statute, or the proclamations. Where's the statute at this point? But the proclamations, because it's a part of those group of proclamations that were given for the benefit and on behalf of the Moors, of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And so we're missing that this theocratic structure that's been put in place through the temple, and the governing structure of the temple is very solid, very tight knit. Going back, even dealing with the controversies of the days of the prophet, and the things that he touched upon in our literature. The prophet was well aware of the controversies and the things that people would say, and it was perfect for that time. And that's what a lot of people miss, because the prophet was divinely guided and inspired wahi, right, to know what he's doing, and to be able to pioneer, which is why people gathered around the prophet in droves and numbers, many numbers and droves gathered around the prophet. But then when we see the division, especially in today's division of the divine and national movement, we notice the droves of people that come in also as well, that only come to copy, take, and don't actually bring nothing of benefit back to the national, the divine and national movement. They just copy the structure and keep going, right? As if the ancestor didn't work his butt off to put anything in place for us. And we're gonna read some things in the literature tonight about that, because the prophet know exactly what these type of people are. And this is why we have a real secluded, group here on Clubhouse, because a lot of the things we touch on and talk about here, it runs people away, it scares people away. And that's not who we came for. We're not chasing people. As I mentioned in a lecture before, we're not here to chase people. We're here to propagate the divine faith, yes, and teach our people their divine creed, their ancient and divine creed. And our people seem not to understand the point of ancient and divine creed, which means it has legal precedence, especially if it's been utilized in a social formality and as a social modality, which is a custom. And those customs are being appropriated. And they'll tell you right out their mouth, well, yeah, I took that structure and such and such and such and such. Oh, so you appropriated the Moors. Okay. But you have no contribution back to, right? And we have all these different nations and different groups and splinter groups and different things like that, within the divine and national movement. And we run into, the same issue I've been, talking about from week on week, about having a supreme grand body with all of the different grand bodies that we have. So, how can we not look silly as a people, as a movement, with whatever we associate ourselves with, whether we calling ourselves Indians or whatever else, Hebrews, whatever else we call ourselves. When does it become easy to understand that uniformity is just simple as 2 + 2? We all can put 2 fingers up, another 2 fingers up, and we all gonna get the same number. Not your flavor or in your favor, but uniformity, divine truth, and consistency. The prophet put in here, instructions for us to understand misery. Are we following our own passions, overriding the understanding of the unity that we're supposed to come in and create community? Because that's what community really means, coming in unity. Is it the lack of insufficient knowledge that the prophet gave instructions on? Is it the weakness of men that the prophet touched on in his instructions? Is it the inconsistency? We have people that have issues with being consistent. Is that the issue, as the prophet instructed us about? Is it the instability, like I mentioned earlier, that the prophet gave instructions on? We were given instructions on reaching for the pinnacle of wisdom and to not be blinded by such. And we was given a caveat, impetor, to beware, buyer, beware. Beware of what you're buying into. Beware of where you put your time into. Because if you're not getting a return of investment on where you put your time, and it's things that we talked about, especially in regards to the prophet. The prophet wasn't navigating around without any equity. And he was very equitable. Are we concerned about our souls? The prophet gave us instructions on this. Are we coming together to really, really, read together, succeed together? When you eat together, you become unique together. Are we doing such? Because we were given instructions on the breath, the breath of heaven, what we call the holy breath, the ruach. Or is this for entertainment? Because we was given instructions on, to learn who we are, to know thyself, to follow these ancient and divine creeds, and understand that we have a ancient culture, ancient tradition, an ancient way of life that they call religion today. We were given instructions on the religion of the prophets. Is it our issue with being genuine with one another? The lack of sincerity that we was also given instructions on? And that's one of the major things, especially with a lot of these Moors that call themselves, adepts, and are supposed to be adept of the temple. That's a real major thing and key word right there, y'all. For those that know, Is it our lack of gratitude, which is a major thing in our community? Even for the things in hindsight that seem to be negative to most people, that we still are supposed to be grateful for those sufferings, those lessons that we go through that time. And could it be the lack of charity? Like I said, they come in to take but not give, not be charitable, to not contribute. So we were given instructions on how to go about divine justice. Why we as a people participating in some of the most silliness that's out here, to where we're looked at as terrorists, and we a whole spiritual, faith-based governmental body that was given instructions for divine justice, for our social duties. We was given instructions on how to create, job structure and careers and create a system of trade. Not a system of slavery, where the prophet said, in his oral prophecies, that some of our brothers will be enslaving some of our brothers. We was given instructions on how to come in unity, community, come together. But we miss these Fridays, these holy days on Fridays, that is a very, energetic day that you should be gathering up and tapping into the frequency. But we so loose on time, we do whatever we want to do, however we want to do it. And you have the right to do whatever you want to do, like we read in Ecclesiasticus 32:12. But long as it's for righteous deeds. So isn't it not a righteous deed to honor that obligation of being here and being being at every meeting of the Moorish Science Temple of America, as you said you would? We was given instructions on how to set up things for the next generation, for our children, how to treat our wives, how to treat our husbands, as well as how to raise our young men that are out here. We were given instructions on these things. So all of the division that that we seem to steady run into, we was given instructions on these things. So is this what's keeping us from getting the work done? Like I said, we got 15 I'm exaggerating, of course, but we got too many supreme grand bodies. Everybody want to be, a chief. Not enough Indians in control of something that they don't even know what they're getting themselves into. Know nothing about it. Don't even have the skill set for it. But they just want to do it because it's trendy to do. How about we learn to focus on knowing thyself, which is one of our divine instructions? Who are you? What are your actual natural born, natural divine talents? It's okay to build skills. I'm not saying we can't build skill sets and fall in love with those skills, because it's also about your skill set, your heart set, and also your mindset. But those divine purposes that we was given and embody with as we came into this realm. So a lot of this stuff, far as like I said, these patriot movements and things like that, they don't really give you, the civics that we go into in our civics 101 course, because a lot of this stuff is just processes. People are following through patriot movements that started with, you know, uh, European patriot movements, and now realizing that us as Moors, we are people of civic pride, civil pride. We created these ancient religions and structures for them to be copied, remixed, and attempted duplications. And we miss the sacred points of all these creeds that so perfectly fold and mold into each other, one to the other. Especially like we was talking about last week with all the continent banging that be going on about which continent came first. And a lot of these people are so disoriented, to where they're disoriented, that they don't look into the fold of these calendars. Especially, you can tell when somebody hasn't read with proper context. It's easy. No one's perfect, but at the same time, the master teacher that we got showed us the structure on how to be 100%ers, as he would say, and not 5%. Well, we holding 5% the knowledge. Nah, we want 100% of the knowledge. That don't mean we know everything, because it's a vast array of knowledge out there in the world to know. But when you're connected to the all-knowing, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, there's nothing that you cannot know. The prophet said he's gonna, reveal everything about these secret societies, and then the master teacher came and actually gave you the data behind it. So is that not the prophet working through the master teacher, as the master teacher so impressively mentioned many times through the mysteries, which we witnessing here again? I said it before. You got the chance to question and answer, but no one comes in and question and answer. Ask these questions. It's just more confusion on top of confusion, because everybody wants to be, out in front and, be a leader, and don't really have the grounded fundamentals and, and the information that's needed. How many people that's in this movement, other than those leaders that are really conducting ceremonies and ceremony every week. Where are they at? You know, how many are actually conducting the works that need to be done during the week? Give me a second, y'all. Wait 1 second. True peace, my bad. So, you know, we have those leaders that do their ceremonies, but like I say, we got 15,000 plus supreme grand bodies. When is we gonna get the one supreme grand body so that we can have the national uniformity that's needed to be had? Because like I said last week, we just a branch temple for the state of Texas, and we represent a global branch for the entire world. But you know, when can we have that uniformity amongst ourselves as brothers, sisters, kin, and kinfolk to really, you know, get down to the nitty gritty? Because this focus on these sovereign citizens, you know, what they call sovereign citizen processes, is not really helping us, and is really becoming a disease that we passing down to the next generation, and the next generation, and then the next generation. So we got to wake it up, and we need to wake it up greatly, especially the works that is being, you know, done and recognized by this particular branch temple that extends, you know, throughout the entire globe through our laws and customs of this particular branch temple. The societies that we created as a free national standard, to the order, a global order that's back in effect fully, as we were told by the master teacher to, you know, as we meet our Moorish brothers and sisters on the square, to bring this information out, and it's here, and it's chartered. So we can go through the ins and outs of those sacred records and actually implement them now through our own laws and customs. But how many are really looking to work for their own branch temples? Like I say, it's cool. Everybody want to start trust, and you know, you want to have people that want to set up trust and all these different things, versus the public beneficiary trust that you have here through the Moorish Science Temple of America, and the other particular trust that we just mentioned through the Free National Standard, and as well as the uh, you know uh, extended bodies, the auxiliary bodies that we have through the temple, whether it be for finance, economics, whatever else. You know, we have the people that copy, they come in, and like I say, they tell you blatantly, straight out their mouth, well, yeah, I use the structure double draw Ali put in place. So you rather copy the work, create something new with no legal precedence, no leader to tread the path with and leave a trail with, since we like to be so independent of each other and be so unique from each other to the point that we not even in alignment with each other, to where, you know, I got to do my own thing. So is that falling in line with the ancient and divine creed instructions of unity? Or we following after the gods and mindsets of some other people? Which one is it? Because from what we understand in this ancient record, that there would be a God for every culture, every religion, and every type of thing. And we'll fall deep into idol worship. This is why in the tents and the ohel for the ancient Hebrews, they respected the 72 tephilims, the 72 leaders that were mentioned in what you call the Apocrypha, who left, sacred writings and other things. So you get someone that actually wrote 400 books in what was seen 40 days and 40 nights, but actually 40 years. Right? And we don't put no respect on the brother's work, far as in not just reading and knowing the information. That don't mean you actually know the knowledge. Because to know the knowledge, that means you got to apply the knowledge. So for those that are of the green light and sons of the true light, where are you at on Thursdays? We be here. For those that say they love the prophet but don't show up on Friday to no temple, are we honoring our ancient mothers and fathers? Because it don't just necessarily mean honoring your parents now. We got to transcend beyond the tribalism, the individualism, all the other isms, and get to the space of peace. Our way of life is peace. And we got to stop confusing people about who we are as a people, because we want to be so unique to where, we don't understand nothing that was put in place by our ancestors, and we don't want to respect none of the works that's been done for and on behalf of our ancestors. Is really getting, ridiculous. And if no other leader gonna say it, well, I'm gonna say it. If they don't want to say it, I will. The grand body banging gotta stop. The running back and forth, and y'all leaving trails whether you like it or not. You're leaving a trail, especially with all the data that we got in this modern day system. You're leaving trails. But we, seem to miss the fact that Allah, like it says in the literature, is how we conduct divine justice. We got people that, is like heavy into these heavy into these processes of heavy into these sovereign citizen processes that's not helping us at all. Well, I want to be able to take care of myself. I want to be able to do and end up still having to use other people, whether it's OPM, OPS, or OPP. Other people's processes, other people's systems, and other people's money. And now realizing you become a snake chasing your own tail. We was told to move subtle for the people that move as snakes, because they have reptilian-like behavior, unevolved reptilian-like behavior. So we got to step our game up. Like I said, I read the you know the laws that was put into statute. You got the Texas recognition of the Moors as well. So it's law. And the customs that we put in place are legal customs, lawful customs. We are a lawful branch temple, chartered and incorporated into the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is a theocratic sub-administrative government body in the United States of America, de facto and de jure. We was told to be industrious. Well, you're not being industrious if you got everybody thinking and moving like snakes and serpents. And they getting stuff done by working together. Hey, I don't specialize in trust, so I'm gonna go and pay somebody that set up a trust company or a firm structure as a company, as a firm, and I'm gonna go pay them. And that firm actually has real accountants, real bookkeepers, and real people that got real certifications in the knowledge that they teaching and giving service for. When we gonna wake it up? Or we just gonna keep chasing the end of our tail? Which one? And a lot of this stuff is scriptorial, so we want to go into some of these scriptures about, you know, us as a people, because a lot of people don't understand that the Moabites in the Bible belongs to the same ethnic stock as the Israelites, and that can be found in Genesis 19:30. Son of Lot. And a lot of people won't even believe it, but they created a idol named after us avatars. And for those that know who I am as an avatar, understand that the Israelites or the Moabites had a god protector of their nation who was called Shamash, and was the national god of the Israelites. Yahweh, well, like Yahweh, was their national god for the Moabites. So the Moabites are who they say the bloodline of Yeshua comes from. And so we had respect given to these ancient deities and ancestors, which actually, you know, came before a lot of the laws that were put in place for the recessive descendants of our bloodlines. But we don't go into, you know, real key information, because like I said last week, the master teacher came, you know, pointed out some of the obvious things that the Moorish Science Temple of America either need to correct or understand. And also, you know, gave homage and paid respect, because even he himself had to circle around 20 times 22 times to understand what the prophet did, even some of the things that were not blatantly understood until you go around the cipher 360 degrees. The knowledge. Because these sacred books is there. It's a lot of books, but that's your school. That's your class. If you're gonna be an adept and studious and student of your ancient ancestors' work, you're gonna have to look at this information 7 times 7. Because some things are put into literal form and some things are put into allegorical. And if you don't have the fukra, the discernment, then you're not gonna know the difference between what it's saying what. You're not gonna know the difference. You're gonna be caught in all of the information that is being used for controversy and dogma. You'll be caught up in a dogmatic battle. So let's jump into this literature. I'm gonna close out with that because, like I said, the information is there. It's available for us and to us. We got to get the website back up. Still working on that, y'all. So that way we can get the temple website back up. Eventually, I'm gonna read the civics 101 ceremony that's supposed to be done every holy day, and go into the details about your holy shahada and taking your shahada, and just getting into that information. But yeah, let's do this. Let's get into this literature here, because some of the things I want to touch on that I'm mentioning in this sermon is also in the literature, and then we're gonna jump into that. But let me go over this, like I say, this ceremonial procedure first from Civics 101, which you can which you can join. I'm sorry, by clicking the link that's pinned to the top of the room. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and reset the room for those that'll be listening to the replays. Welcome to the World Temple, branch temple number 24 of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We are a global branch of the Moorish Science Temple of America that represent the branch for Texas, the state of Texas. And with that, y'all could join us by clicking that link that says World Temple at the top. That's structured as a gray block of words that says World Temple. Click that, click join, and become a temple guest. If you want to become an official member, stick around, keep listening. Like I say, don't skip through these holy days. Y'all want to listen to every little bit and part of each one. Unless it's like one of them short videos that we didn't really mean to keep up. And please let me know in my back channel that we have a recording that probably needs to be deleted, because sometimes we close out the holy day and had to open up another room. But other than that, yeah, go ahead, click that gray block of words at the top that says World Temple. Join us as a guest temple member. And if you would like to become official member, just stick around so you can get that link that I'm going to pin to the top of the room. And temple dues, or what we call temple taxes, is less than $1. I'm sorry, not less than $1. It is $1, but it's less than a coffee. So each month, all we ask is you throw us $1 in the pot. That way, you paying your temple tax toward the nation. And this has been in effect since the 1920s, which we'll go over that here in a second. But with that, I'm about to pull up the Civics 101 catalog page, and y'all can follow along with me. We go over civic virtue, which is some of the things I just touched on tonight about our civic virtues, and why we as a people have to understand our ancient cultures that's been structured and here for a long, very, very long time. We also touched on a little bit about civic engagement as well, because that goes over the fact that we have to take collective action to address public issues and things of public concern. And our virtues are the cultivation of our habits and our customs that we have as a people, as a community, and understand how that is structured through our community, which represents our virtues or ways of life or customs, as we mentioned earlier. So let's go into these holy instructions from the Holy Quran of Mecca. Ayat number I'm sorry, not ayat number 10, but from the Mecca, from the original Quran, it says, Friday is the holy day. O ye who know, when the call is proclaimed to supplication on Friday, the day of assembly, hasten earnestly to the remembrance of the Heavenly Father and Divine Mother, and leave off business and traffic. That is best for you if ye but knew. And when prayer is finished, then may ye disperse through the land and seek the bounty of God and celebrate the praises of God of 10 and without stint, that ye may prosper. So let's go into this real quick. It says, all chaplaincy, temple services, and meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7, and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is our holy day for all Muslims and peacemakers all over the world, according to Act 2 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, by the noble prophet Drew Ali, which states in conjunction with the above cited law, stating all temples and subordinate temples are to conduct holy day service every Friday, starting promptly at their respective time and ending promptly at their respective times. All civilians, patrons, denizens, prospects, and ministers are expected to attend the temple for Friday holy day temple service and meeting. On Fridays, the Moorish American, Moorish Asian, and Moorish African Muslims and peacemakers all come together to supplicate and to illustrate that which Allah has blessed them with. The meetings and temple services are open according to divine love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. At no time will templars, adepts, ministers, patrons, or outside congregational guests be allowed to disrupt the holy day service, nor will civilians be admitted under the influence of alcohol or any severe intoxicants. All civilians attending the holy day service must have their heads covered with either a turban, fez, or kufi, or spiritual covering. Baseball caps should not be worn in the temple. The Sunday school meeting is mandatory, and all Moorish nationals and temple denizens must promptly attend their meeting and send their children to Sunday school. And the teacher must conform himself and herself to the temple one-on-one questionnaire, and let every civilian man, woman, and child exercise his or her 5 senses, who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation, and now the entire global village. According to Act 5 of the additional bylaws by the Prophet Noble Joe Ali, every subordinate temple has 2 Sunday school meetings, should have two Sunday school meetings held. The first meeting should be held 1 to 2 hours before the adult service, and children's Sunday school should be conducted by the director of the Children's Sunday School program. The Sunday school meeting is designed to assist the members in learning the temple one-on-one questionnaire and developing an understanding of just what these holy keys mean and how they are to be applied to our everyday lives. The Divine Constitution and Bylaws, along with the Moorish prayer and the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic nation, El's Holy Injiyl, El's Holy Qur'aan, and the civic lessons of the Holy Temple of Moorish Science are also subjects of major concern for the temple who is trying to complete his or her mandatory requirements for pronouncing their temple civilianship and global nationality. All lessons for the adult Sunday school classes must be prepared by the Grand Sheik as the Divine Minister or the Assistant Grand Sheik. Lessons called by us novites additions may be submitted to the students for completion and returned to the temple. Once the lessons are completed and graded, they must be placed in the active members temple district file. The Sunday school temple service and meeting is a wonderful opportunity to study the liturgy teachings of the prophet. No civilian is to become disruptive during the Sunday meeting. All templars must bring paper and pen to the temple service and meeting, along with the basic temple literature and assignments. No templars or patron is to eat food or other snacks during the temple service or meeting, but water is permitted. All Templars must attend their Sunday temple service and meetings as diligently as they attend their Holy Day temple service and meeting. Both were called out for by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and is required as a matter of law. According to the Divine Constitution, Act 7, in part, all Templars must promptly attend their temple services and meetings and become a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and now also Moorish Science Temple of Africa and Moorish Science Temple of Asia, and the adjoining world islands on behalf of all indigenous peoples. For membership, all heads of temples of any temple jurisdiction are not to charge for naturalization or to overcharge for cards, buttons, or anything issued by and through the Prophet. Those who contribute to any of the proceedings are not Moors, civilians, or patrons, but robbers. Temple nationality and membership in the Holy Temple's vast estate or public beneficiary trust, sisters and brothers, kin and kinfolk, is free. Not only here, but all over the world. All kin and kinfolk desiring to become a civilian of a subordinate temple must read the message from the temple secretary and download the application for your naturalization. The Secretary of the Temple Jurisdiction has helped all newcomers by explaining the naturalization affidavit and the application for membership of the Temple's vast estate or public beneficiary trust to the new prospective civilians of the Temple's vast estate or public beneficiary trust, and arranging for him or her to be consulted by the Royal Council of said temple or subordinate temple. The Royal Chairman or woman will set the date for the new temple prospect to be interviewed by the Royal Council. The new temple court civilian, upon completion of the Royal Council's consultation at the newcomers' gathering, the new Templars will proclaim their temple nationality at the next upcoming Holy Day meeting. After the new civilian prospect proclaims his or her nationality, they will be given the mandatory requirements necessary to earn their free national name and royal title of nobility as a true American royal. These requirements are as follows, and in accordance with Chapter 47 of the Moorish Circle 7 Holy Qur'aan, Egypt, the capital dominion empire of Africa, the Moorish prayer, Chapter 25 of the Moorish Qur'aan, the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic nation, the 101 Qur'an questions for Moorish Americans, Asians, and Africans, the Divine Constitution and bylaws, and the additional laws from El's Holy Torah, El's Holy Injiyl, El's Holy Qur'an, the Holy Tabernacle Family Guide, and also the Holy Tablets, through our Civics 101 course in the interdependent school district that we have in Sacred Halls of Learning called New University for everyone of the global village. Once a new civilian or template has learned these lessons verbatim, he or she will be interviewed by the Royal Council as the chaplaincy to determine if the new civilian is qualified to represent himself or herself as a faithful Moorish American, Moorish African, and Moorish Asian Muslim or any indigenous peacemaker, and communicated to the ignorant for their instructions and communicated to the wise for thine own improvement. Once the new civilian or template has cleared the mandatory requirements with the Royal Council, he or she will be naturalized by the Grand Sheik and Divine Minister of said subordinate temple. So those are the holy instructions for getting involved in proclaiming your temple nationality, which is free. It's a simple process. You show up, you enroll into the Civics 101 courses that we have, and the courses is a do-it-yourself. So you can do your blogs yourself, which the assignments are actually blogs, reports, not reports, but essays, in response to the topic of that particular lesson or edition, as we call it in the school, and get involved with an actual fundamental process that was actually, structured and called out for by the Prophet himself. All right, so let's go over this next part, which is the proclamation of your nationality, which we call the Holy Shahada. And this procedure pronounces one's nationality that will be held on Holy Day for all civilians, denizens, Templars, peacemakers, or Muslims all over the world. During the ceremony, the new civilian or template will be ordained an El, Bey, or Day, and given his or her royal peerage title of Ken, Honorable, Lady, Noble, Nin, Naya, Prince, or Princess by the Grand Sheik and Divine Minister, and also receive his or her nationality card and button from our Divine Minister of the Grand Major Temple. Upon conclusion of the nationality proclamation, the Grand Sheik and Divine Minister will have the civilian, templates, and temple prospect stand while he or she reads the authority of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It is by virtue of this document that can be found in Herod's revised statutes that gives the Moorish Science Temple of America, Asia, and Africa the authority to restore the nationality and birthrights of the lost Asiatics of America, Asia, Africa, and all world islands, and give them the title to their vast estate and their heritage. The Grand Sheik and or the divine minister is to read from the card and have the new national state, Allah is God, ennobled Ali, the prophet, and I am Moorish American, African, or Asian, and or world islander. This is our Moorish clarification of faith or Shahada and our national pledge of allegiance. The new civilian or templates, free national names should then be added to the temple's book of life as they enroll in the course. The nationality ceremony should be conducted by the Grand Sheik and Divine Minister, or any other Divine Minister so designated by the Grand Sheik and Divine Minister in his or her time of absence, and most notably by the Assistant Grand Sheik and Divine Minister. The nationality card and naturalization application must be signed on the back bearing the name and title of the Divine Minister who issued the card and the date of its issuance. The Religious Corporation Act has deemed the Global Interdependent School District and incorporated and chartered Moorish Science Temple of America, Africa, and Asia as a religious trust and theocratic government established in 1928 on August 20th. This religious trust is the true global trusteeship system for the Holy Family of Nations, forming the global nucleus. So that is the Shahada process, or the baptismal, or whatever you want to call it. When people talk about going through your nationality, it's here on the record for the record. So a lot of people get these processes and they go, purchase these things, or they take people off to themselves, and things like that. When proclaiming your nationality is a community thing, you proclaim your nationality, especially when you're doing this in the indigenous style and way. There's a powwow, and we inaugurate somebody into the tribe. That's just simply how it goes. But we got so many reinventions of the wheel. People are so lost out here. And, like I said, people trying to be so unique that they forget that they are out of alignment with the uniformity of their own people, their own tribe, and their own community. And it's sad, especially when we read chapter 25 for the covenant, the affection of our brothers and sisters and where that lies. So with that, let's get into this literature, y'all. Y'all got any feedback? Y'all want to ask any questions? Chime in. Floor is open before I go into the literature real quick here. And welcome, y'all. Thank y'all for being here with me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Peace, brother Kaba. Hope all is well. Trust all is well. And brother Chief. And we're gonna wake it up for y'all, man. About to pull up this literature. Y'all want to chime in, anything like that, make any contributions for the day? Before I go into the literature. All right. Try and give y'all a second to unmic. Y'all want to chime in? If y'all did say something, I can't hear y'all, or I can't see the PTR because I'm off the screen. But if you're trying to say something, probably got to click out, come back in. But I'm about to pull up the literature so we can get ready to close this on out for the day. Get closer toward closing the temple. All right, y'all. With that, we're gonna go into it, and we're gonna read some things from the prophet. So, Islam The prophet said in these instructions, said, be faithful unto your forefathers' divine and national creed, that you will be blessed for your good deeds that you sow in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is now on, but the weak can comprehend it not. The end of time is drawing near, so says Allah to his divine prophet, Zabuwr, and that's why many hearts have been turned to stone, and many have eyes to see, but cannot see, ears to hear, but cannot hear, lest they would be confounded of their sins. These are trying times, these are trying hours now, dear Moors, and every spirit is moving, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temples. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good work. True peace. Your divine prophet, Noble Drawley. True peace, true peace,
True
true
peace, true peace.
That sounds like the kids going hard over there.
Definitely.
Tell my babies I stay on my tail. All right. Yeah, so the prophet, man, he really understood like I said, what was to come. And a lot of people miss the messages of the prophet. And I'm just going off of what Spirit tell me to read. Read for the week. And put it on the record for us. We went over some things last week in the literature. We don't touch on everything, but we do go over some things that the prophet gave us. So let me see. I'm trying to make sure that we read some things that the prophet want us to touch on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this warning from the prophet. This is another warning from the prophet that we usually don't read, and I'm gonna go over a plea from the prophet as well before we get into the mandatory warnings, to the divine warnings that we're supposed to read. The prophets say, for all governors and grand sheiks and head officials of all temples, renew your acts, amend your ways, because the great conference is on its way, and it is where the law will be enforced before the great grand body. The continuance of the present officers in the temple will depend on your past good work. Those who have been those who have been delinquent may now know that they will not be tolerated any longer, because this great divine and national movement must move on according to law. These things shall be proclaimed. There is no favorite in any of the temples, for the law is laid down, and everyone who claims a part of the work must be governed accordingly. All are one. There's but one temple in this nation, and there's but one prophet of the temples. I come to speak to all nations, bringing them a message of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. In the head of every temple, if anyone has violated these divine laws, it will mean his discontinuance. For no man is to be under the influence of intoxicating liquors, nor to seek to tear up the families while under the influence of evil motive. Nor must he speak anything that will prejudice the minds of the public against the divine movement. If any of the laws are violated, anybody, Grand Sheik or Sheiks, can file charges against the violation to the grand body over which the prophet resides. This power is vested in 7 or more Sheiks for protection of your temple and divine movement. The Prophet Noble Drawley, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So the prophet, let it be known. One temple, one prophet. So all these different, I got this nation, I got that nation, and it's not connected to a branch temple that could help us really get somewhere. Man, you just causing distraction, man. You causing distractions. And you caught up in distractions. If ain't nobody gonna tell you, like I said earlier, this Grand Sheik and this leader gonna tell you caught up in a distraction. And I ain't got time to participate in it. And you shouldn't either. Especially when the prophet gave us a caveat impetor to beware of where we place our time, to beware of who we're buying from. And we can't buy baloney no more. Like it just said in this divine warning, that time is up with. Those patriot movements and different things like that and processes and stuff that's getting in the way of us coming together and understanding that you are all the indigenous people. So it don't matter what tribe you are a part of this divine national movement. He said, this is your problem, the Negro problem, Moors. He wasn't trying to separate himself and participate in Zionism. That wasn't what the prophet was doing. So while we out here participating in Zionism, acting like we elect an elite separate from our brothers and sisters, make it make sense. So the prophet gave this plea to the nation. The prophet say, our divine and national movement stands for the specific grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I, the prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members and the American citizens to help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race and nation, for I have suffered much and severely in the past through misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. It is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names to answer and to apply the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. That's why I'm calling upon all true national citizens to help me morally and financially in my great work I am doing to help this national government. For without a free national name, without a descending flag of your forefathers, there is not a national divine title of the government in which we live. This is from your true and divine prophet unto all American and foreign sympathizers, Prophet Noble Joe Ali.
Islam.
So the prophet, man, was laying down some thingy things for us to go by here, and we really got to get this thing together. Really got to get it together, y'all. Especially on Tuesdays for those that are adepts and want to be adepts. You can bring in more adepts that's serious about learning the law. We go over this literature and specific literature here on Tuesday nights for our temple adepts and ministers, and we got ministry 101 in the school system, and it's all the classes are structured the same way. They're blog essay assignments, so that way we know that you are competent of the assignment or the addition, what we call additions or lessons. So now you're building a portfolio, but you don't have a portfolio of your continuous bodies of work if you're not doing the work. So you got to come in and come get this information, come participate in this information. I don't sit around jaw-jacking all day. I sit around creating for y'all. I can prove I'm doing the works, not for myself, not as an individual. I'm not running around chasing these sovereign citizen processes. We created things on a whole economic scale. And then you got people that want to do everything that I'm doing. You don't even think like me, first off. Too many people thinking about their damn self. Excuse my French. Let alone the years of work that I put in to even know how to apply the knowledge. There's a difference just getting the knowledge and you living off somebody else's work That ain't what we came to teach here, especially when we've been groomed by the master teacher. We here to create more leaders. So I gave you a path to follow, but put the work in. Prove, show thyself, studied, and approve. Because that's what's been done on my end. I'm on putting the degrees together and making sure we comprehend this information coming from the multifacetedness of this movement. We've been developing going on 20 years now. Or 10 years, yeah, going on that 20, I'm about to say 20 years. Seems like 20 years. But yeah, it's going on. Since well, really, if it, by the year 2029, it will be 20 years. It will be 20 years in the year 2029. Because this data has been gathered since then. This information, this Noon project has been worked on since then. And going through all of that to be a polymath and understand the different parts that we need to have for the system. That has been worked out. This is why knowing thyself is very important in the work that has been come to be put in place. For all those brothers and sisters, y'all have the opportunity to run a daily tribunal and come together in a space and really build something versus sitting, you know, like I say, in these different rooms, just get. And at the end of the day, there's no unification being established. Just everybody with individualism still and individual processes. And we got the opportunity to create community, just like any one of these groups on here, whether it's Christian groups, entrepreneurial groups, which I'm about to jump into one when I get off. I'm just saying, and really establish family, community. Same people I see every day in the entrepreneurial rooms I be in. I talk to them same people every day for the past 4 or 5 months. Every day I'm seeing the same people for the past 4 or 5 months. Might as well call it Entrepreneurial Church, because they there every single day. Sometimes we there for 8, 12 hours. So we got to get it together if we say we for our people and for ourselves, man. So I'm gonna read this next part of the literature called Temple Taxes. Is it necessary? Conventional votes, unanimously tax paid monthly.
Can I speak for a moment, or is it too?
Nah, go ahead. You can contribute. Go ahead.
All right. I just wanted to share this because it's been a thought forever, a revolving thought that if every temple that we had, because every temple should have at least an acre or more. And if every temple actually had an acre and grew their own fruits and vegetables and had their community of followers come in, our brothers and sisters come in and assist with that garden, then that would be enough to feed the entire community, and we wouldn't even have any problems right now that we're having concerning this food, the supposed food shortage that they're imposing upon our people. You know, I've talked to you about that several times, and if we thought about it in that sense, more than we think about, just worrying about the rent, which they impose that upon us as well, then that's another situation we would be able to solve. If we all got together, excuse me for saying, but if we all got together like the Amish and either paid to get our houses built, then we wouldn't have to worry about houses. Or if we learned crafts and got all the people together and paid them to build our houses, or assisted each other building them houses like sometimes the Catholics do, well, then we wouldn't have to worry about that. I'm just saying that these are other things that people are doing. And aside from that, if we got together, all together in a multitude, and prayed together for our success, as the way some of these devils actually get together, because there's been congregations that are actually full-fledged known devils. They know they're devils, and they claim themselves to be devils, and they pray against the melanated man and woman's demise. They pray against the man and woman's of melanin descent's demise. They literally get in hordes and they pray for our demise. So if we prayed at least a percentage for our freedom, for our future, for prosperity, for love, you know, what was the 5 tenets? Love, truth, peace,
Freedom and justice.
and justice. Yes, freedom and justice. Then we would actually start moving faster than the speed of light. That's how I feel. That's how I really feel. So with that,
because some of the rooms I be on, that's what they go in on. So I've been in Christian rooms, praying with the Christians, chilling and maxing and cooling and shooting some b-ball in there. And they done raised $10,000 right there in the temple, right on Clubhouse. So I'm watching it happen. I see it happen, and that's why I constantly come here on Fridays, whether it's 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, say the same thing every week. Why we don't understand the sacred day that we have here on this day, the energy that's open for us on this day to come together, to make that contribution, to make that prayer, to make that supplication, and send that energy up to the ancestors and throughout the cosmos. That way it can reverberate back to us in goodwill. And yeah, I'm glad you touched on that, because it's not just me saying it. You got people that's listening, and people that's here, witnessing the work and doing part of the work, part and parcel is giving y'all this communication. So we really got to understand that the power is within ourselves, but all the division, all the dividingness, I mean, you're allowing yourself to be conquered. You're allowing self to be conquered. That goes back to that divine constitution and bylaws that the prophet put together for us. So, and taught. So we got to get it together. I mean, that's just that. Like we literally can, do the things that that's being done by building community, being being in tune on these days that we have the opportunity to get in tune with each other, tap in with each other, and really build that consistency, really build that momentum that we was given instructions on. Go ahead, no.
Pardon me, I apologize, but my wife just made a good point right now. She said that for everybody listening or listening to the future, for everybody that's able to pay Netflix, and almost everybody's got Netflix now, either Netflix or Disney or if everybody just paid that as much as they pay for the Netflix to the temples, then we'll be able to actually have funds to go ahead and move forward with whatever we move forward with.
I'm glad you said that, Noble, because I'm about to go ahead and tell Noble I said thank you. I'm about to put the Patreon link up now for the temple, because it's actually less than a coffee. That's less than a coffee. That's $1 for the temple dues, and that's $1 a month is not nothing heavy to pay to go towards our contribution every month. And if we had rooms that got 100 people in them, 1,000, 500 people in there, like it be on this room. Sometimes it'd be 1,000 people in one room just talking about Kanye. Now imagine if our people were really paying attention, and now we doing this every week. That's $1,000 or $500 or $100 every week. You got the website taken care of. You got people rents that can get paid, like you mentioned, because now that money, the rest of that money is going in the pot. You got 4 weeks at the month. That's $500 we raising every month. Like I said, I done been in these rooms. They raising $10,000 in one room in one day, in less than a couple of hours, getting 10,000 raised, 15,000 raised to go for certain endeavors for the temple or the church. And if they can do it, what's holding us back from getting ourselves together, man? And I'm glad she made that point, because You know, like we say back in the day, you know, brothers and sisters, they can go buy a $5, you know, swishy sweet and smoke that, but can't make the contribution to invest $5 into themselves. And, you know, essentially that's what we dealing with as a people. But that Patreon link is there, you know, pinned to the top of the room. I really do appreciate waking it up like that, because that need to be spoken upon. And that actually takes us into this next piece of literature from the prophet. It says, because of the fact that the expense of the operation of the temple is increasing so fast that it was found necessary to vote a tax to the prophet to carry on the work. This idea was concurred with by the Supreme Grand Council. This act is so arranged that it will not be a burden to any of the temples, but the prophet is very empathetic that it shall not be ignored. The expense of operation has heretofore been taken care of with funds received from the manufacturing department, and it was found that it was a burden on that department. Hence, the tax was necessary. This tax is 25 cents per month per capita. This will mean that the numerical strength of the temple will bear the proper share of the responsibility of operation. This per capita tax is intended to supply all members alike, governors and grand sheiks included. The governor or officer in charge of each temple will cause a report to be rendered to the Supreme Grand Business Manager of the Supreme Grand Council in Chicago, which will specify and itemize the following: number of adepts, number of members, number of new members taken in each month, or those who join after the rendition of the last report. 25 cents must accompany the name of each such members as the representation tax. The per capita tax collection begins November 1st, 1928. All concerned will save themselves penalized if they render their reports promptly and specifically, because otherwise it will necessitate a representative calling on such delinquent temples and auditing their books, which expense will be borne by the temple. All governors and other officials will be held responsible for the representation tax and report by order of the Prophet Noble Joe Ali. So the prophet called out for this temple tax, which is pinned to the top of the room. You can join us for $1 a month, which, like I say, go towards your temple tax and your membership. And you know, this is very prevalent, because if all we call it for is $1, and you know, this is part of our discussion earlier, Noble, when we were talking about, you know, the taxes and things like that. You know, and I mentioned week by week these past couple of weeks that we are the beneficiary owners of all of these entities. They tell you not to be involved with that entity. Don't do it. We worry about this entity. We are beneficiary owners of these entities, whether they're good, bad, or, you know, the ugly. And if, you know, unless they like a real fake entity that you can, you know, really point out, similar to other entities that are actually in the government that you know, are not really popular too much more like that. But you know, other than that case, because you can't petition against these things, and we should be petitioning as curia, you know, the curia of the court and our court structure that we have. So you know, we really got to get it together, man. We really got to get it together. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the divine warnings from the prophet that we're supposed to read every temple service and temple meeting. I really do appreciate the contributions, and also brother that was in the chat, he came through for a bit. I didn't see that brother in the room, but brother Batak Ban Aya, he came through and passing blessings on us as well. And you know, this temple is open to everybody, including, you know, Hebrew Israelites, you know, all indigenous peoples, because we have to understand that, especially as the people of the Yamasi and other tribes, we are a peaceful people, which the word itself, some of our tribal names actually mean the people of peace or the people of God. And we have to really understand that we are you know, continuing our culture, not the culture of some orthodox religion and principles, and really, wake it up. Because whether you were in a village, half naked with your feathers on, you're still participating in the same, divine rights. So, with that, y'all, uh, let's get into it. So, this divine warning is to be read in every temple meeting. As the prophet called for, the prophet say, I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your card at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button and cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet in the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. True peace, Noble Ali. All right. We got the last warning from the prophet that we gonna read. I really appreciate y'all and the contributions that's being made today. Y'all want to read listen to every part of these services, because, like I say, we touch on some very, very important things, that we leaving behind, especially when it comes time to really get that knowledge. Because with Kanye and with Kanye in the media, like he's been waking up some things, especially with the anti-Semitism claims and things like that. He's really been waking up, pieces of knowledge that people need to hear, whether they like what he's saying or not. As well as we need to pay attention to the things that are going on with the finances and the economics that are shifting in this country and nation, with the blockchain technology, as well as the things that's going on in the Vatican, and really, really be prepared economically. And we really gave the economic key here today with what needs to be done. And I want to go into this last divine warning, y'all, and we can close it out, because I don't want to hold y'all all night.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
My uncle's here and he's been listening, and he wants to know who the Noble Drew Ali is.
Y'all call him the prophet.
Okay.
The prophet is not a god.
All right, I'm gonna
All right, I'm gonna read.
I think so.
I'm gonna read some things.
I'm gonna read some things from the literature for y'all.
Yes, he's gonna read from.
Is the logical person that says something like a philosopher or something?
Well, a philosopher is part.
Define the prophet. The prophet y'all talking about? What prophet? Is it out of a Muslim book, or is it out of the Bible, or what? Because the prophet word is in the Bible too, right? Am I wrong?
No.
Tell them not old time prophet,
But more of a modern
day prophet and messenger.
He's one of our last or more recent prophets. That's what he was, and the best word I can use is like Sankofa. He actually reached back and brought back all the information. No, not at all. I don't even want to get.
Prophet is way of life,
Can he go ahead and read it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Chaplain, please.
Thank you, Chaplain. Thank you.
Yeah.
going to this part of the literature. This is called Drew Ali in Time. It says, Allah has sent us a prophet and sent him in time with a holy message, which is divine. He came to let the Asiatics of America know they are of the ancient family of the Moors. His sepul was to the Asiatics first. Why? Because they have been sinners since their departure from their forefathers' religion. Oh, sinners, why don't you hear the soul of Islam ringing in your ears? The prophet has said that if I were you, I would get ready before you are made to do so. Now come and pick up your forefathers and mothers' ancient and divine creed, which carries your national name. Indeed, it will entitle you to your rights, which you have been denied, because in 1774 your light was cut off from the ancient Moors, and that is why Allah has sent to us a prophet in 1886 to prepare the light that was out. In 1925, the prophet said, I have mended the broken wires and have connected them with the higher powers. So come on, Asiatics, don't you want to go? Where we were marching on to Canaan, I used to think that it was a city in the sky, but now I know it is here on earth. Don't you want your share? So Noble Drew Ali is a pioneer of the Islamic movement that happened early in the 1900s, and he was coming to kind of give people the information from from over what they call the sacred East about the actual culture of peace. Not in a sense of Orthodox Islam, but the cultures of peace that have reigned, going all the way back since Prophet Abraham, or the forefather Abraham. And the Americans, as far as what they call Negro, Black, and Colored, and indigenous peoples, we didn't understand that our ancient cultures was the ways of peace, was what they call religions today is the culture and religion of peace. And so the prophet, like I say, he was like I just read, was sent with that divine message early in the 1900s, far as in a sense of nationality. Now you had other Muslim brothers which were more into more orthodox Islam, but he was more into the nationality side of things, and kind of cantonizing Islam back into our indigenous ways of life. So that way we understand, this is not just a orthodox religion, but it's actually a ancient way of life, an ancient creed, and an ancient divine principle for us as a people, as indigenous people. So when we refer to him as Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we mean it in the sense of the pioneer and the divine messenger, messenger that was sent to really bring that message for us and our nationality, and to proclaim our nationality, which it links those that are so-called Negro, Black, and Colored, and fall under the Dred Scott issue, and what they call the Jim Crow issues, to really wake back up to their nationality and not look at Go ahead, Noble.
Go ahead, Noble.
He has a question. He says that this include also the Native Americans.
Us Native Americans.
Well, that's the thing.
Well, see, Native Americans.
Right.
My grandfather's a Native American.
Right. Uncle.
Is Islamic? Is that coming
yes.
from
One fact we all have to get over. One fact we all have to get over is the Native American. The concept of Native American period was created by colonization. Before that, it was indigenous people, or we could consider indigenous people, and that just means the people, the original people of this land. It could also be measured by a word called aboriginal.
Yeah, aboriginal.
Okay, or indigenous. Now. Before that means all of our tribes. That means including what you consider what we ended up by colonization. okay, and corporatocracy
but
turning into.
We're called by the white man.
Well, this is what I'm getting at. When he says the Asiatics, he means the ones that cross the Bering Strait.
Right.
Okay, in order to mix with the inhabitants of the indigenous people of this land here. That's why the people in like the what they call the Sioux, which is Lakota, and Dakota.
Yeah, right.
Okay, those Indians, some of them look Asiatic, some of them look Asian. Okay, because they're mixed with that. Okay, so everything what they call the west of the Mississippi is pretty much mixed with that Asiatic seed. Okay,
Look,
and everything.
take it a little bit further back, because it also means not just the Bering Strait. Us as indigenous people, north, south, and Central America, we have been crossing over from Asia. Africa is included in that Asia. So we have been traveling in a circle from Africa, Asia, and to America in one big circle when the landmass was all more connected, because those continents connect to each other. So before the split of the continents, we roamed from all over, just all of America, all of Asia, and all of Africa as one big landmass. And we are those indigenous peoples all together. So what he mean by Asiatic, what the prophet mean, is that information, like the pyramids and things like that was left in Timbuktu, and the big libraries that in Egypt that Alexander had burned down. All of that is indigenous people's information. All of that is Native American and Native Asian or Native African information. We are all one big people. Did he hear me, Noble?
Yes, he heard.
But it's Islamic. When you use the word Islamic, Islam, you talking from Israel? I'm thinking when you say Islamic, are you discussing like you're from Israel or the people from Israel?
No.
Islam, when you use the word, where does that word derive from? What, Middle East or what? Is that
which word?
Which word?
Islam.
Islamic, Islam.
Well, it's just Islam.
Yeah.
Oh, Islam. Okay.
Asiatic is different.
But Islamic.
Right. Well, there's no word Islamic. It's just Islam.
Islam, yeah.
Right.
Well, that's an African word.
That's an African word. They say
from what continent?
They say
like a Middle Eastern person, but it's really African. It's really an ancient African term for peace, for the word peace, from shalom, which comes out of the Hebrew language, which is just the ancient African language. Even some of our native languages here in America, they incorporated with the same phonetics. So we technically Asiatics, so-called Africans, and Americans, we all have the same phonetics, going all the way back. So whether we're in North America, South America, Central America, or you go into the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Sioux, like he was saying, all of us have some remnant of that ancient Hebrew language. And that was, more of a global language for us as an indigenous people. Did he get to hear me?
Yes. Thank you.
But when he said African, right?
Yeah.
Now, didn't Jesus? He had to run to Africa. He had to go to Africa, right? Because he was out to kill all the babies, in the Holy Bible,
Right.
right? Am I right? So
Right.
so he went to Africa.
What they did.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, they went out there to Africa to go. Oh, really? They went to go hide.
Right. For 18 years, right.
What they did to us in Africa, they separated the names of the land. So the so-called Middle East is where that's also a part of Africa or Asia as well. So when he left that side of Asia or Africa, he went to the what they would consider the west side of Africa and hid in Egypt, because what they try to do is separate Egypt from Africa, and all of that is technically connected. Even parts of Europe is connected to Africa. So when you get a chance, Noble, go look at the map with him and walk him back with, through the biblical map and through, through the global, just through if you can find one of them globes or something. I think you got a globe at the house, right? And just, walk them through it, because if our people see it in their faces, they'll get it way quicker than us just, talking. And that's basically what they did. They took the applied knowledge from us, so that way once we showing them in, real action, mechanical time, they'll really get the breakdown way in depthly. Could you hear me, Nova?
Yes.
In that geographical aspect, I love maps because right now the United States is hiding a lot with those maps.
He said he agrees with you before, before this. He actually said he agrees with you as far as the geographical aspect.
With the geographical term, because there's a lot of geographical stuff that they don't want us to know. But I always loved geography back then, continents and stuff like that.
Yeah, they
So
try to
he's talking
separate
about
us.
the way,
They try to separate us through skin color, but we all one people. You know what I mean? We either cousins or, parents of each other, either or. Like, we all related. And they try to separate us through that, so they could pretty much divide and conquer us and take our cultures and religions, and then they call them a different name. So this is more so for the prophet, not coming from, Orthodox Islam and the modern day religion of it, but more the indigenous, the ancient native way of life, and pretty much bringing back that understanding that we are the ones who actually came up with what they call Islamicism, or Islam, the way of peace. Before it became the religion, before it became a religion, it was our ancient way of life with as native and indigenous people. I don't know if you can hear me, Noble, but I appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
Go ahead, Theo.
Oh, I was saying, I concur with you, Chaplain, about that, because when I joined the military and they saw my birth certificate and they stated I was Caucasian, and I had to kind of argue with the drill sergeant. No, I said, how can I be Caucasian if my parents is my grandpa on my mother's side is Indian, and my father is
Exactly.
They did that with our birth certificates. That's how they tried to do everything around with being a corporation and all that.
Well, studying this corporatocracy of America, I have to tell you that the Mexicans, they labeled a lot of us white or Caucasian because this is the secret. They know that criminally they created the school to prison pipeline to lock up the melanated people. So if you were dark complected, you were immediately either labeled a Mexican or Negro or whatever colorable titles that they put on you, right?
They deliberately categorized.
But deliberately they also called the light-skinned Mexicans and even some of the light-skinned Negroes or the light-skinned Moors. Any light-skinned Moors of any descent, they would label them white as well. Because
Native Americans,
but let me tell you why. Because of this, they know that they were targeting because Jews don't go to jail or prison at least a percentage, not even a third of the percentage as the population of the melanated people across the globe. Now the reason being is because they targeted us to incarcerate us, and they knew who the Mexicans were, who the light-skinned, the what they call them back then, the mulattoes and the mixed peoples. Okay, they knew that they were still targeting them because in their eyes they were not considered to be full-blooded. So when you do the demographics on an annual basis to see how many people were incarcerated, if you locked up a bunch of mixed race people that were labeled as Caucasians, it looked fair on paper to say that there are many white people getting locked up as many melanated people that are getting locked up. So that's the game.
Follow the money. It's a money thing. Per person in jail.
That's it.
Now, if you look at the population of how many, even the Cubans in jail.
Right.
But it's all about the money.
That's right.
All it is about the money. So is Congress about the money. All the demonic bastards are also. I'm sorry about that. I was getting political.
Nah. Tell Theo. He leaving his voice for the young. It comes from
this is being recorded. So no, that's good, Theo. That's good. He said thank you because you're leaving an imprint for the other people that are going to listen in the future.
Well, just a little perspective, I'm trying to. It's true. It is what it is,
That's right. Islam.
Tell them thank you. Really appreciate it. It's an honor because we got to talk to our grandmas, our grandparents, and aunties situation because a lot of people just and not really going back to people that are older and things that they went through. I mentioned this earlier. It ain't even been 100 years of what we've been dealing with to where we think this is 100 years is a very long time and really is really a short period of history. And so slavery and all these things, the kidnapping and the bondage, that was that wasn't too long ago, and you still have the time to talk to your elders. And so we really appreciate it. I thank you, bro, for letting them chime in because it's people that do come back and listen to these messages. And like I say, y'all don't want to miss a beat on none of these sermons and these lectures and these temple services. Listen to every part because it's jewels being installed, not just dropped, but installed. You want to pick up the jewels and download it and install it into your mental programming and program yourself. With that, man, let's go ahead and go to this last piece of the literature that the prophet want us to read, and we're gonna close it on out so y'all can enjoy the rest of y'all night. Really appreciate it. Tomorrow is family day, so y'all can join me at 6 p.m. on tomorrow on Telegram in the World Temple chat. Just type in World Temple if you're looking for us and join us. We'll be there. We're gonna be teaching about family estate planning and setting up trust, and come link yourself with the family of nations. Come learn how to be a family officer and a banker, and really get involved. And with that, I'm gonna read this last warning from the prophet, this last message from the prophet that's supposed to be read in every temple service and temple meeting. Islam. The prophet say, "I'm glad that I know I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim that I was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me, so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the past few years. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. With that, y'all, the prophet say he needs the finance so that way we can get this economic work done. Y'all can click that link that's pinned up there at the top of the room and join us. Well, Brother Grove came through. I'm sorry he missed us, but y'all can go ahead and join us, and we'll definitely be hitting back next week. And listen to the replay so you understand how this ceremony goes, and get involved. For especially for those that are rogue Moors and they need a temple, they need a home, you need a family home. You can come in, you can come join with us, get to know us. Join the Royal Council. And with that, I'm gonna close this out with the prayer. Y'all know how it go. 2 fingers up, 5 fingers up, facing the east, feet at a 45-degree angle. And we're gonna close this out. I really do appreciate Uncle Theo, Noble Gabriy'El, my brother Chief Black Wolf, and yeah, get involved. Come link yourself with the family of nations. We're teaching our people their divine creed so that they know that they are not Negroes, black and colored, and understand that we do have a structure. We do have infrastructure to build, and you got to come and participate in the family of family affairs. This is a holy family affairs. We are the family of nations. We are a holy family of nations, all together as a global village. And understand we represent that branch temple. You can come and get involved and participate in these sacred and divine works with us. If you get a chance to listen to the replays, click that link that was pinned to the top of the room for the Civics 101. We're working on getting our regular temple website back up, so you can always go to that website and participate and get some of our old seminars and things like that. And come join, become a friend of the court, amicus curiae, especially for those that want to be ministers or adepts. The Patreon link is there for you. Go through it, look at the memberships, and see that we building. The more people that put themselves on that list, and like I say, it's only $1 a month. So just if all you can afford is $1, go ahead and get involved. Put yourself on the list of patrons that's a part of the temple. We got 200 guest members, but not many official members that's paying dues monthly. And we understand that those who contribute to the Moorish movement, to the divine and national movement, and specifically this temple, the great benefits that are coming with the works that we're doing through the temple. So with that, y'all know how it go. 2 fingers up, 5 fingers up, feet at a 45-degree angle. And let's do this prayer. Let's take it home. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Amen. All right, with that, y'all, Wadu, peace to the gods and goddesses, the kings and queens.
Peace.
Peace.
Yes, true peace. Love and light. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ping y'all to the
I'm
next
gonna ping y'all to the next
entrepreneur room if y'all want.
entrepreneur room if y'all want.
Yes, that'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm about to go join.
I'm about to go join
Money
in.
making.
True money making. True peace.
One love.
True peace.
True peace.
True peace.